Hi everyone, Justina here. Wanted to chime in and discuss a few things today about how you can stay healthy during this weird transition of having to stay at home while you're in quarantine, things that you can do to stay at your ultimate health and wellness and keep with those goals. First thing I want to suggest is keeping in a routine. I think that's huge. So, trying to get up at the same time every day, go to bed at the same time every night, having a good routine throughout the day, whatever that looks like for you, is going to help. We're humans and we thrive on that good routine, just as kids do, adults do as well. So, making sure we're trying to stick with the routine as much as we can. It's very tempting to maybe stay up late and watch a little bit more Netflix, maybe read more of your book or play video games, whatever it is that you like to do. But making sure we're coming back and trying to be into that good routine and getting up at that same time the next morning, that just helps us to make us feel refreshed and ready to go and take on the day. The second thing I want to talk about is just to keep moving. It's very tempting, like I said, to sit and watch a binge show on Netflix. And that's okay to do once in a while, but making sure you're still getting up and moving, whatever that is, doing some physical activity. Maybe it's exercising, maybe it's taking your dog for a walk, going on a walk with your kids, just doing things and staying moving, getting up, cooking, moving, going to the kitchen to do things, just anything, just keep moving, whatever that is. Maybe you're watching a show, you take a couple of times to do a couple sit-ups. Just keep moving. The more we like to sit around, the more it's tempting to just keep sitting, and that's going to end up leading to more disability, mobility-wise, obviously gaining some weight, not feeling good, having low energy when you do that. So making sure you're just keeping moving, whatever that looks like for you. It's a great time to get out and explore, do things, just keeping moving. So maybe things you haven't done yet, and you can explore your community, see what's all out there. The next thing is to eat nutritiously. Very tempting to have snack foods if you have all those quarantine foods. You want to make sure we're still trying to eat healthy. So making sure you have fresh fruits and veggies around like always and snacking on those if you can, and making sure you're eating lots of lean meat, providing the body with nutrition that it needs here during this time to stay at your most healthy. That's always important every day, right? But making sure, especially if we're trapped at home, to eat those foods that are going to provide the ultimate nutrition and nourish our bodies. The next thing would be to get sleep. So we talked about having a good routine, making sure you're going to bed at a good time every night, making sure you keep in that routine and get good sleep, trying to put your phone down an hour before you go to bed, or put it in the opposite side of your bedroom, whatever that looks like for you, and just focusing on getting that good sleep, maybe get into a good sleep routine and pattern. This would be a great time to do that. Next is hydrate. When we're at home, sometimes we get caught up doing things. We end up watching a couple hours of TV and realizing that, hey, we haven't drank anything yet. So making sure you're just staying hydrated throughout the day. I always suggest to people to have a big water bottle. I love my water bottle at home. I always have one with me. Just take it with you wherever you go. Just remember to hydrate and to keep hydrated. Next thing, watch your stress levels. When we're stuck at home, we have a little bit more time now to possibly be going onto social media, looking at watching the news, and getting stuck into kind of some of those routines and those patterns. I would suggest trying to limit your social media watching exposure and your news exposure. I want you to stay up to date on everything, but sometimes we're a little bit over-informed, and we want to make sure that we stray away from that, because that can cause a lot of stress, especially with everything that's going on in our world today. We need to be notified of what's all going on with the COVID, but we sometimes can be over-informed, and there's not a whole lot you can do sometimes. So just making sure you're limiting your time. I know on my phone, I personally have like a 25-minute time lapse that I set a limit on my phone for like Facebook or for Instagram, whatever social media outlet that you like to use. Now is a good time to just start investing in other things, reading a book. Like I said, maybe checking in a couple times a day, totally fine, but making sure you're not catching yourself, you're bored, so you end up scrolling through Facebook and maybe seeing things that you don't necessarily need to see. Last but not least is make sure you take this time to work on yourself, figure things out for yourself. Now is a great time if you're stuck at home and you have a little bit more time to figure out things. Maybe you start picking up journaling a little bit, writing down. Now would be a great time to do that, because we're going through such a weird time, and it might be fun to look back, or have your kids look back, or your grandkids look back on this time to see what you were all doing while we were all in quarantine. It's kind of a very unusual circumstance in our world, and it will be, I'm sure, written in the history book. So it might be a good time to start journaling, just writing down what's kind of going on with the world, what's going on with you. It's a good way to kind of create thought provocation. So it might lead you to other things that you can be doing with this time. Taking anything that you maybe been putting in the back burner, maybe trying to put it forward if you can. Things that you've been wanting to do, maybe a craft you've been wanting to do, a book you've really been wanting to read that have put off, maybe a class you've been wanting to take, getting some extra exercise. Like I said, going out and getting some exercise in the community, maybe places that you've never walked to before with your dog or with your kids, and making sure maybe even taking time here to practice meditation, even just for a few minutes throughout the day. It actually is very helpful to help clear the mind, and just taking time to be grateful, practicing gratitude, and being thankful for what we do have. Even if we are stuck at home, at least we have a house to live in, and we hopefully have food if we can get some at the grocery stores, and we have all these things readily accessible for us. So just taking time to do what it is maybe at this time that you haven't been able to do. It's practicing some good habits here, and then once hopefully life gets back to normal, we'll be able to kind of take in place, replace those things with other things that we were doing before, and just getting good habits of that. So this is a great time to take that opportunity to do that. I hope everyone's staying healthy and happy, hanging in there. We're all doing the best that we can. I'm just taking a day at a time, and so I hope you are too. Stay well. See ya.